시카고 시장 선거가 이제 며칠 남지 않았습니다. 오늘은 윌리 윌슨 시카고 시장 후보를 모시고 인터뷰 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 무일푼에서 백만장자로 성공한 사업가가 어떤 비전을 가지고 시장 선거에 출사표를 던졌는지 자세한 이야기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. Welcome to News Magazine, Dr. Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The Chicago mayoral election is very near. What is your main focus at this moment?
Well, main focus is I have 4 points that we really deal with. Economic development and economic empowerment, education, public safety, and equal opportunity for contracts and job that anybody does business with the city of Chicago.
You have no experience in politics, but you do have much experience in business and community activism. Tell us what qualifies you to be mayor.
Well, the one thing that qualified me to be mayor is this, is that I won't take $40 million like this mayor done now and sell the city out. I won't do that, right? I put over probably close to $2 million of my own money involved in this election to make sure that I'm not bought out by a big major corporation and union, because I want to be a mayor for all citizens of the city of Chicago. And the other thing is that I have experience in business. Chicago is a major city who does a lot of business, and you have to have experience in business. We've hired over 30,000 employees. Some of them became doctors and lawyers and things of that nature, all right? We know to take business to make sure that we can create jobs, you know. And so by my running for mayor and qualified for mayor, all those things is I'm not a politician. I'm a business person. I'm sensitive. I never left the community. We donate today over $800,000 to $1 million a year back to our churches and our community organization. That's what qualified me to be a mayor versus what you have right now.
A couple of weeks ago, you participated in an Asian community forum. What have you come to understand about the Asian community's needs and issues, and how would you solve them if you became mayor?
One thing, I was surprised when Asian Americans that I learned from there come to the country. There's a communication, lack of communication. We would ordinarily make sure that we would include all Asian Americans as part of our administration, so that we will also set up something in the mayor's office that when someone comes from overseas, from Korea, that they can come here and make sure we can help them fill out the paperwork, communicate, bid on contracts, you know, and job, and understand the American process way. I understand that's a communication situation. It's pretty tough there. So we'll put an effort in that and make sure it works. We'll hire the people to come in and help, so move them obstacles out of the way.
What should be done about the city's racial segregation, especially in the south and west side?
Well, we right now, this mayor we have right now don't communicate with anybody, pretty much, all right? I believe in integrating, you know, the police force, the city hall, you know, job. I believe in a city that should be branded that reflect all citizens of Chicago according to its population and inclusion. That's what's going to bring us together. When you have a police force doesn't reflect Chicago, you got issues in public safety and things of that nature. When you have a administration and you don't have people that can speak the language or understand it, you know, you got issues. So we got to make sure we employ people to make sure we can communicate and make those things happen. As your mayor, I would promise you that I would make that happen.
Chicago's public schools closing have been quite controversial, and you want to reopen them. How would you meet the financial challenges?
We'll reopen it. We'll first consult with the community, but we'll reopen some of those schools, because now our kids have to take them walk, you know, 2 or 3 miles to school. Some of them in wheelchair. Some of them can't even have the bus fare to get to school, all right? So we'll have to take and reopen those things up, all right? And get people back involved in school in their own neighborhood. Where would we get the money from? We got to create new businesses. We'll open a mag field that does about $300 million a year in business. Those tax dollars there, those dollars that can come to the city, help reduce those overhead. We'll open up a casino. Because right now the people go to Indiana and Joliet to a casino. So why not bring the job in Chicago with the casino? Let the citizen own a piece of the casino, and then that way that's help drive the taxes down, and they could hire somebody to manage it out for them, you know.
Your education lasted only up to the 7th grade. However, you have 5 honorary doctorates. First, tell us about your educational background and thoughts. Second, how would you improve Chicago's education system?
Well, my background is one of 7th grade education, and I ran away from home. You know, we struggled. We'd never been back to school. I decided that, look, I was going to work hard and get ahead, because my mother and father, we had to get them out from down south. And I'm only 2 generations from slavery, you know. And so we'd get my parents them out from down south to up here. So we had to struggle a lot, you know. And so after we accomplished that, did I have time to go back and get an education? Yes. But there's a lot more people out here that doesn't get the opportunity to get an education. So I decided I'll be a role model for those people. Since I don't need the money, you know, let me be a role model for those that have been unable to get an education. Let them know, hey, you can make it. I made it, all right? Now, you know, on your second point that you made in terms of how we make school better, we would take and put some dollars together to make sure that we can put the books away. Use technology, computer, you know, so the kids don't start out behind, you know, of something way back in 20 or 100 some years ago, all right? They'll be modernized to the day up in the future. You know, we'll make sure that we partnership with corporate America. We'll make sure that we have enough money for education by way of these casinos, by way of the airport midway, lowering these taxes so that people can buy gasoline in their own community without going outside. And that way we can stimulate the economy for more jobs and people to stay in this city. And so by doing that, that will make sure we balance out things for teacher pension, raises, City of Chicago worker pension, fire department, police department. We have to start somewhere. I know how to balance budget, you know, because of my business there. I am the only business mayor in this whole race. Rest of them is not in business. They've never been in business. They don't have the experience. You do not put somebody in a car that don't have driving license and don't know how to drive. You know, they're gonna wreck the car. That's what this mayor have done now, wreck the car with those other ones. You don't need any politician in there. You need a business person who understands the value of our people and to help all citizens, including your community, the Korean community, African American community, white community, all community, Asian community as well. And I'm very sensitive to that because of my background.
How would you create more jobs to boost Chicago's economy?
Well, here's what we would do. See, today, this mayor we had today, what we would do, we'll introduce legislation that says anybody that does business with the city of Chicago, all right, will have to have equal opportunity for all citizens as related to jobs and contract. Right now, the job and the contract is being given to this mayor's friends, okay? Because that $40 million that he have, he owe it to his friend, all right? But if you pass that legislation, you empower people within their own community. As you empower them job into your own community, you get a chance to get contracts too, and the job. By legislation, you do that. Instead of now the job going to major corporations that people don't even live in the city. Just ripping off our citizens. I would change that by introducing legislation that all citizens reflect the community that is served.
For Chicago's pension problem, what is your key to the solution?
Well, the pension problem has to be dealt with. That's again creating new businesses, bidding out contracts. When you bid out the contract, okay, you get a lower price. So the city ain't paying out all this money that it ain't supposed to pay out, all right? You would bid out the contract, the casino is there, Magfield Airport there, attract new businesses here by lowering the taxes, all right? That would help pay for these pensions. And if you bid out all these contracts fairly, right, you don't have a budget problem. I know how to balance those. That's what I would do.
The crime and murder rate is high. How would you bring them down?
We would fire the superintendent of police. We would fire him right out of there, all right? We would bring 4 superintendent of police, break it down, Chicago down in 4 districts, and hire 4 different superintendent of police that they then can focus on those particular areas. They can get out of the automobiles, they can ride the bus, they can ride the L, the subway, they can walk up and down the community business, they can go to PTA meetings, you know, more of a friendly atmosphere. I wouldn't bring on any more police officers because they've been doing it for years, but the same thing happened over and over again. I would integrate the police department so they can better understand the community in which it's served, all right? And then I will also have the community to grade the police department, make sure that they are friendly to the people which they serve, right? That's how you begin to deal with solving problems.
Lastly, I would like to give you an opportunity to speak to our viewers directly.
Well, today I'm running for mayor of the city of Chicago. If you decide to, which I hope you do, to vote for me, I'm number 2 on the ballot. I am genuine, sincerely about what we're talking about. Out of all the other candidates that are running for mayor, they didn't have any business experience at all. I've hired over 30,000 employees of mine. But more important than that, the dollars that we make from our business, we donate it back to different communities and churches and things. We would like to include the Asian American, all citizens, Hispanic, Latina, all citizens within my administration. You'll get from me what you call inclusion. I'm not looking to make any money. The paycheck that I get, I'll give it away to the church and the community if you elect me. And also is that I put in close to $2 million of my own money to make sure that no corporation or union own me, you know. So I put in my own money, and versus going out here asking somebody to give me money so that they can own me, that I don't want. I would be a mayor for all citizens, not tied to a major corporation and big-time unions and things like this mayor we have now. You can trust me. You can trust me that I'll always be on your side and on your team. I get rid of red light. We wouldn't be raising any taxes. You know, I'll make you part of my administration to make sure that whatever happens, you have somebody that can communicate in your own language and understand the value of what you bring to the table. I will make sure that you've reflected the population of my administration. So I'm a person that you can trust. I know how to make dollars, and I know how to balance budget. I don't have all the answers, but we do have all the answers together. And I ask that you vote for me, your early voting, punch 2. Election day is next Tuesday, February 24th. But you can also go to electwilliewilson.com and to help me out, volunteer, call your friends up, put me on Twitter and Facebook. And I like to end with you with this here. I always end my comment with prayer because I believe that all things come of Christ. And it says, "For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself a servant unto all people, that I might gain the most. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever." Thank you for hearing me, and I ask for your support. Punch 2 on Election Day. Thank you.
Dr. Wilson, thank you for being with the News Magazine.
Thank you.
시카고 시장 후보 윌리 윌슨을 인터뷰했습니다. 시카고 시장 선거는 오는 24일입니다. 다음 시간에 뵙겠습니다.